Hello Divination and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how to install and set up our free header and footer for Divi's Herbal Remedy Layout Pack. This is the final result we're aiming to achieve. So without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let's get started. All right, so the first thing we need to do is to go to this post, which I'll link to in the show notes below. So once you get to this post, you want to scroll down until you get this part of this post, which says, check out the Herbal Remedy Global Header and Footer template below. So what you want to do is to click here to download it and then enter your email address. So I'm just going to enter mine here and then click on download. Now you're going to see this download button. So you want to go ahead and click here on download the files. So these files now are going to be downloaded onto our computer. So as you can see here, the files are right here at the bottom. So next you want to navigate to that folder. So I'm just going to go and show in Finder. Okay, so let me show you where this file is, and here it is. So what I usually do to make things easier for me is to unzip this right away. So I'm going to double click on it, and this is going to unzip this file. So now you can see we have this template and it's a JSON file. So I'm just going to drag this over to the side so that we can continue working on our site. All right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to come now to our website. So as you can see, we don't really have a header here and we don't even have a footer. We just have the default that we get from Elegant Themes, Divi. All right, so what we're going to do now is to log on to our website. So I'm going to go in and add my username and password. So now that I'm in my website, I'm on my main dashboard. So the next thing we need to do is to come all the way down here to Divi. You need to hover over here and then click on Theme Builder. So this is where we're going to install our header and footer. And to install it, you want to come all the way up here to your portability. Click here on these two arrows, click on Import. And now it's time to add that file that we unzipped earlier on, which is right here in our downloads folder. Now, one quick and easiest way to do this is just click on it and then just drag it onto here. As you can see here, I've just dragged it into place. Now I can click on Import Divi Theme Builder Templates. I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, so now you can see our header and footer has been added to our template. All right, so what I'm going to do now is to go to our site so I can show you what it looked like. And so I'm going to open this in a new tab. So remember, we did not have a header and a footer. So now when I hit Save Changes, you are going to notice now that we will have a brand new header and footer. And there we go. So now you can see we have a massive header here. And if we scroll all the way down, we also have this footer. Okay, so the next step now is to customize this header to our liking. And to do that, you want to come back over here and click on this pencil icon on our global header. Now, this allows us to go into our settings for our header. Okay, so now that our builder has been loaded, the very first thing we need to do is to go into our section settings. So here in our section settings, we can add or change things like the background. So as you can see, we have this color right here. We can change the colors around to whatever color that we need for our header background. Okay, so perhaps you may want to go with this color here. This is where you change it. So pretty much that's all we need to do here on this header area. So now I'm just going to close out of here. Next, let's say you want to change your social media icons. This is where you would do it. You just hover over here and click on the module settings. So here we have Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We can also add more social media links. So I can just duplicate this one here and then click on this gear icon. And now I can go in and choose a different one. So in this case, let's choose something we don't have. And perhaps we could add Instagram. There we go. So just like that, I've just added Instagram. So back over here, the next step now is to find out how to add our links to our social media platforms. And the quickest way to do this is to click on this gear icon, click on link, and this is where you would add it. So you can just add your link over here. Okay, so go ahead and repeat this process until you've added all these on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Now, let's say at some point you decide, you know what, you don't want to have any of these social media links. You can just come over here on this bin and then just delete it. Okay, simple as that. Now, let's move on to the next part, and this is to change the colors of these icons. So you can come over here to design, click on icon, and this is where you can go in and change your colors. So as you can see, as I'm cycling through these, the colors are changing. Okay, so this is how you change the colors. All right, so I'm going to close out of here. Next, we are going to change this email address. So I'm going to click on this gear icon, and this allows us to go into my text settings. So here is where you can go in and change your email address, or if you want to get rid of it completely, you can just delete it. Okay, so I'm going to close out of here. Next, I'm going to come over here and click on this image. So this could also work as your logo. So I'm going to click here on this little icon to go into my blurb settings. So what you can do here is to go to image and icon, and here we see that we have our Divi logo, which is right here. Okay, so we can change it by coming over here, and if you click here, this will give you access to your media library. So this is where you can select your logo, and let's say you are happy with that one. I'll just click upload an image, and this will upload that logo on here. Okay, so let's close out of here. Next is the shop site. So this is a button, but the most important thing is to link it to our shop page. So I'm going to click here on this gear icon, and basically you can just change the button text here. So we can say shop sale now on, for example. So this is where you can make some adjustments to the title of the button. Next, you want to come over here to link, and this is very important because this is where you need to add the link to the shop page. Okay, so that's all you need to do. Now, in terms of changing the design, you want to come over here to the design tab, click on button, and this is where you can play around with the colors. So for example, we have our text color here. You can change it to black, you can change it to yellow if you want, but as you can see, that doesn't really work well on a light background. Okay, so next I am going to show you how to change the background. So let's say you want to change the background color. You can just choose your color like that, and as you can see, this has filled in the color. And if you want to remove the border, you can remove the border by just sliding over here, and now our border is gone. So that is how you can add a solid color. Okay, so I'm going to close out of here. Next, we're going to take a look at the menu. So if you click here on this gear icon, this is going to take us to our menu settings, and this is where you need to assign your menu. So you need to have created your menu first before you can select it here on the drop down. Okay, so once you've added your menu, this will add all the pages that you've added to your menu, and you can also further customize this by coming over here to design, clicking on menu text. So here is where you can change the font. So let's say you want to change this to Poppins, for example. You can select your Poppins here, and you can see instantly our font has changed. And you can also change the color. So if I play around with the colors here, and you can see as I'm cycling through this, this is also changing color, and all this can be done in the menu settings. Now you may not want all caps. You can just toggle here, and this will remove all caps. All right, so as you can see, this is quite straightforward to go in and make changes to. So I'm going to close out of here. All right, so the next part is to work on our footer and see how we can customize it. Okay, so I'm going to close out of here. I'm not going to save anything because I'll just leave it as it is. So the process is the same. You want to click here on this pencil icon, and this is going to take you to your footer settings. All right, so this is what we have. So first of all, if you feel like, you know what, this is a lot of information to go on the footer, it is very simple to get rid of things. So you can either disable it by going into our row settings here, clicking on advanced, and then you want to go on visibility. So this is where you can just disable it on these three devices and save. So you may want to do this in cases where you want to perhaps maybe use it later on. So deleting it and then recreating it will be a bigger job. All right, so now that I've added this and disabled it, let me just see if this is working now. So let's go ahead and save this. Now I'm going to come over here to my site, refresh it, and then I'm going to scroll all the way down, and you can see here that our footer has now been simplified. Okay, so that's how you go in and disable them. Okay, so let's go back and enable it. So I'm going to come over here to visibility and make sure it shows on all devices. All right, so I'm going to save this. So if you want to go in and make changes to all of this, all you need to do is to hover over here and then click on this little gear icon. This is going to take you to your text settings. So these are the links that we have over here. So what you want to do is just go into each and every one of them. So I'm going to do one for you. which is this one here. Click on this chain icon, and this is where you'd add your link. So you need to do that on every single one of these. And if you want to get rid of any of them, all you have to do is to highlight it, delete it, and you can see here that it is gone. Let's do this one more time. There, just like that. It's easy to go in and delete it. Okay, so same thing applies to the shop sale. You can go in here and delete or add these links, and be sure to add your URLs. Okay, so now let's take a look here at this area here, and this is a call to action. So first of all, our text settings here, you can go in and change your text. And if you want to change the design of it, you can come over here and you can go in and change the title color. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I can play around with the fonts here, so you can see right away I've gone in and changed the color. So if you're happy with that, you can go ahead and save. And the same thing applies to the button here. If you click on this gear icon, this is going to take you to your button settings. And to make customizations to the button, you want to come over here to design, button, and use custom styles for button is already activated. So all you have to do is to go in and make your changes. So this is where you would add your background color if you wanted to add a background color to your button. But you know what? It's much better if it's transparent. All right, so I'm going to save this. Moving forward, and this part here is very important if you want to collect emails. So I'm going to click here on this gear icon, and this is going to take us to our email opt-in settings. So the first thing you want to do is to change your title here to whatever that suits your website, and then you can also change the button here. So let's say you are giving away something they can download. You can just say download now, like that. So the next part here, which is very, very important, is to link this to your email service provider. So I'm going to come over here to email account. So here we have quite a lot to choose from. We have ActiveCampaign, Aweber, ConvertKit, Emma, and so on. So this is where you would choose it. And then if you click add, it's going to ask you for an API key. And the API key is important because it connects your website and that email service provider, so that when someone adds their email address here, it is added onto the database on your email service provider. So once you've done that, you can just click add, and then this will add it onto your list. And also you may want to adjust your success message. So you can either add a specific page on your website, or you can just add the message. All right, so I'm going to save this. Now over here on the social media icons, we did go through this earlier on. You can just go in and just follow what I mentioned at the beginning of the video when we're going through the header, because this is the same module. Now over here on the address, this is where you can click on this gear icon and customize your address by going in here and readjusting this address. Same applies to the hours, the email, and the phone. So that is how you customize this. Now on the background here, we have an image. So you can also adjust that image or change it completely by coming over here to your section settings, clicking on background, and already we can see that our image is right here. So this is where we can either delete it or we can change to a different image altogether. And to change that, you can just click here and then navigate to the image on your computer. Okay, so pretty much this is how we customize our footer. So go ahead and play around with this and see how you can match it and make it work with your website. Okay, so I'm just going to save this one more time. We're going to exit so we can have a look at it one more time on our site. So this is our site now. I'm going to refresh. Okay, so let's go to the top. So this is our header. And when we scroll down here, this is our footer. So there you have it. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and do follow us on our social media platforms. By doing so, you'll be notified every time we release new tutorials. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.